makeup friends, it is time for a monthly haul. So today I'm going to be sharing with you all of the items that I picked up in the month of September. Let's get into it. As always, I want to start off by welcoming you back to my channel, or if you are new here, then hello and welcome. My name is Kara, and on my channel, we like to mix beauty, brains, and the occasional F-bomb. On my eyes really quickly is one of the palettes we're about to talk about, so let's just talk about it now. This is the Primrose palette from ABH. I did film this entire look as part of a Get Ready With Me. I think that's probably already posted by the time I'm posting this one, but if not, it will be coming soon. So here's what the palette looks like inside. This is my first time wearing it, so I can't speak to the longevity of the powders at this point, but application, beautiful. And these blushes pack a punch. Oh my goodness. If you want to see the struggle bus that ensued when I tried to apply those, be sure to check out the Get Ready With Me, but suffice it to say, I am very impressed with this palette on initial application. Now on my lips today is one of the new lip clays from Kaleidos, and they were kind enough to send me over the entire PR kit. So thank you very much to Kaleidos for that. In here, there's a little drawer. So I got one of their lip masks. So this is the Apple Glaze Lip Mask. I haven't used it yet, but I do have one of their other ones, the light blue one, and I actually really like it. It's not my favorite for overnight, but day-to-day use, and certainly just before I get ready to do like my makeup, I like to apply this, just let it sit there, add a little bit of extra hydration, and my lips are good to go for lipstick. And then there are also two sets of their lip clays. So unfortunately, I've lost one somehow. I don't go anywhere. I don't know where the heck this shade is. I have scoured my desk, scoured the floor, checked my purse. It's either at my office or one of my children has spirited it away. So hopefully it shows up soon because I really love this formula. Like really love it, really love the shades. So this one is a collection of 4 neutral shades. And then there's also just perfect for sweater weather, this other collection here of nice deep dark vampy shades. This is the shade Rubino, which is part of this set. All of these stunning, so beautiful, so comfortable to wear. I'm so happy with this. And there is another item in here that's sort of PR. So Look Fantastic sends me basically a credit code that I can use, and then I can pick out the items that I want to pick out to try and share with you guys. So I decided to pick up some items from Sigma. I have long been a fan of their brushes, but I haven't actually used any of their makeup. So I picked up one of their palettes. This is the Untamed palette. So it comes with a double-ended brush. So there's what she looks like on the inside. I haven't used it yet. It just got delivered, I think, just 2 days ago, so I haven't had a chance to play with this one yet. But there's the palette, and then I picked up a liquid lipstick as well as their liquid eyeliner. I also picked up a mascara, but they actually have managed to somehow sell out of that somehow. I'm not sure. They had to cancel that particular item, but I'm excited to try the eyeshadow palette and particularly the liquid lipstick as well, just to see what those are all about. I have my eye on the new Cinderella palette from Sigma, but this is a nice way for me to sort of dip my toe into the Sigma pool, see what I think about the formula before I then go and purchase the Cinderella palette. So stay tuned for my thoughts on that once I've had an opportunity to play with them. So then I didn't think that I had bought a lot of palettes, but there's a few. It's not as bad as it has been in previous months, so we're making progress on that front. So first up, let's talk about this one here from Geology. I believe they're an Australian-based brand. This is the Pilbara palette, and I'm not in love with it. I'm going to be perfectly honest. I like the color story that's in here. Some of these shades are definitely better performing than others. For example, this shimmery shadow right here, it's so good. But this shimmery shadow right here, big old dud. It doesn't pick up on a brush. It doesn't apply very nicely to the lids. So I've kind of got mixed feelings on this one. The mattes perform really nicely and I like how they blend out. I like the innovation behind the palette. I love the color story. So there's a lot of good things going on here. I am very interested to see what they do next. If they take the feedback on this palette, because I don't think I'm the first one to say that the shimmers are a little lackluster. I'd be curious to see what they do with that going forward. If they just double down and say, nope, this is our formula, like it or lump it, or if they do little tweaks and get everything performing as well as this shimmery shadow does. So it's not a brand that I'm writing off completely, that's for sure. There is enough good going on with these shadows that I am definitely curious about what they do next, but I'd like to see them improve those shimmer shadows. So we'll keep an eye on Geology. Now I also picked up the new palette from MAC. This is the Feast Your Eyes palette, and it's very pretty. I mean, if we want to talk about shimmers, the shimmers that are in this palette are phenomenal. My only complaint with this palette is that I can't really get a wide variety of looks out of it. So there are 3 matte shades in here. So this one here, the one right beside it, and then this like maroonish kind of shade down here. So there are the matte shades there. So these two are pretty much the same in terms of their depth. So it's really hard to get a bit of a gradient going on. It's hard to build in the dimension into eye looks. But if you just want like a standard, here are the matte shades that I'm going to apply, and then I'm just going to play around with the color of the shimmer, this is a great palette for that, because these shimmers all play really nicely with the matte shades, but they are different one from the other. It's just for my own sake, I have a hard time creating like the skeleton, if you will, like using the mattes to create the shape of the eye and then just going, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I just feel limited by this palette. I think it's beautiful for what it is, but if you're looking for a versatile palette where you're going to be able to pull in a bunch of different looks and just create really intricate and different shapes with it, this is not the palette for that. But if you do want like an everyday, just grab, apply, and be out the door kind of palette, this definitely meets the mark for that. So I'm very happy with the performance of this palette, but in terms of versatility, I feel like it's lacking. So there's that. Now, a palette that offers versatility for days is the one from Blend Bunny. This is the Surge palette, and I've never tried Blend Bunny before. The shipping was atrocious, I will say that, and then I got dinged, I think it was $24, $26 in customs fees as well, so this cost me a pretty penny. So I'm very, very pleased to report that this is a phenomenal palette. It is beautiful. I went in with this shade in particular for an eye look that I did recently, and my jaw like dropped. The pigmentation that's going on these matte shadows is next level, like insane. I haven't even had a chance to play with all of them yet, not even any of these shades on the bottom row, but oh, I'm excited to do so, like very excited to do so. And this is one of those palettes that when I look at it, I see a bunch of different like color combinations, a bunch of different looks just sort of coming together in my mind. And it's a palette that when I look at it, I get excited. Like I really like the way it's laid out. I like that the neons are on the bottom, the shimmers are here, the really deep mattes. Like I like how they're grouped. And then the vertical is sort of the color story. So just the way that my like linear brain likes to see things, this palette delivers. But aside from that, the quality is phenomenal. Now I will say the shimmers are not my favorite formula. I do find they're a little bit finicky to pick up on a brush. You can pick them up with your finger, no problem. They remind me of the Glamlight shimmer formula where it's a little bit almost mushy, if you will. Like it's very pliable in the pan, but it still is beautiful and high impact on the eyes. I have no regrets in purchasing this. Now, if we travel back to the very beginning of September, the first palette that I ordered was from BH. This is their Birthstone palette for the month of September. So Sapphire, it's the best one so far. Like hands down, this is a beautiful palette. I think it's absolutely stunning. Even the pressed glitter is pretty, to be honest, and I'm normally not really drawn to the pressed glitters, but this one, so pretty. It's got all these like little like multicolored flecks in it, and it's just, oh, this is such a gorgeous palette. And for $9, like the quality of these palettes is amazing. So if you're looking for that kind of color scheme, definitely go for like a nice curated little set like this. You really can't go wrong. Now later on in September, I did pick up another palette from BH. I skipped out on the Iggy Azalea collection because it just wasn't my vibe. I wasn't really interested in any of the products, but the Mega palette from Doja Cat, this one caught my eye and okay, first of all, they're not lying. Mega palette, absolutely. There's 36 shades in there. She's a monster. She's huge. But you've got quite the range of shadows in here, and you can go any way with this. So you can play it down and go very neutral. You can punch it up with a lot of these colorful options. Now, I do want to say, it's not my favorite palette that I've tried from BH. I have tried some of their circular panned palettes before, in particular the BFF palette, which I love. I love that palette. This one I like. I don't love it. There's some patchiness with these deeper shadows down here. The shimmers are not what I come to expect from BH. Now, in speaking with Angelica Nyqvist about this, she was saying, well, maybe it's because Doja Cat doesn't really like that like super blingy metallic kind of foiled finish. Maybe this is more of her speed. Entirely possible. I have no idea. For my own personal preference, I like a really high foiled finish on a shimmer shadow. These ones are more of your traditional sort of satin slash somewhat sparkly kind of finish. I definitely wouldn't call these metallic by any stretch, but that's not to say they're not pretty. It's just if you like that high impact finish, this palette is going to leave you wanting a little bit more. But it does offer a wide variety of colors to choose from, and they do perform well. It's just these darker shades do require a little bit more finessing and building up than what I typically experience with BH palettes. So I like it, I don't love it. There's my review. Now, along with the Doja Cat and BH collaboration, she also released 3 different tinted lip balms. So I picked up the heavy tint, so this is the most tinted. And I gotta say, I'm not a huge fan of it. First of all, the packaging has me flummoxed. So it looks like it would just like do that, but you actually have to like turn it, but then I always forget that you have to twist it, so that I'm trying to open it, and it still opens even when it's twisted shut. So look, I'll twist it shut, so the lid's not gonna fall off. I can still pull it open. So what's the point? Like, I don't really get that. But at any rate, the first time that I opened it, the lip balm itself fused itself to the top of the lid and just pulled right off. So I have managed to squish it down a bit, but it's quite janky looking in the tube. This is the kind of product that I think even if it was like a hot day and this was in your purse, it would still start to like get super mushy and melt, basically. It's got like an insanely low melting point. So while it does have a really great tint to it, and while it is incredibly comfortable on the lips, it's a bit of a high liability issue. So this is going to be like a desk lip balm that I might just like keep at work and apply throughout the day if I want a little bit of something something on my lips. So again, I like it, I don't love it. So there's that. Okay, then I did pick up 2 more palettes because Colourpop had like their mega palettes on sale. So it was like typically they're $30 something each, or you could buy 2 for 40 something. So that's what I did, and it was free shipping, so why not? So I've had my eye on the Stone Cold Fox one for ages, so I did pick that one up. If you haven't seen, it's a very cool toned neutral palette. So I've only used it once since it arrived, but no complaints on the one time that I did use it, but granted I've used like 4 out of 30 some odd shades, so I can't really give it a thorough review. Likewise, I also picked up It's a Mood. So this one I think is just freaking stunning. Like if you want jewel tones and all that kind of thing, here she is. Beautiful. There are some pressed glitters in here though, so I will give you that warning. This one here, this one down here, and then this guy up here are all pressed glitters. I have used this one as well just once, but oh, she's beautiful, and the shimmer shadows stand up gorgeously. Is that a word? It is now. They stand up gorgeously throughout the day. This is the one that I wore on my lid to work, and by the end of the day, it looked every bit as good as it did on initial application, so very happy with this straight out of the gate. Okay, so that brings us down to just a few more little bits and bobs here. So This one, I actually can't remember if I got it in September or if it was like sometime during the summer, but I just came across it while I was cleaning stuff up, so I figured, what the hell, we may as well talk about it now. So this is the NYX Control Freak Eyebrow Gel, and I don't really like it. So it's just a clear gel, so like you shouldn't really be able to mess that up, and yet somehow it's just, okay, first of all, it gives you a little bit of crunchy brows, which I don't appreciate. But then it also, like, after it dries, it starts to flake in the brows. So like you see these little like specks of like white kind of stuff in the, like, no, I don't like that. So not a fan of that one. Then as well from NYX, I ordered this here a little while ago. This is the Ultimate Shadow and Liner Primer. I have tried this a multitude of times. I've tried just leaving it without any powder on top. I've tried putting powder on top of it. I've tried. And I have issues with it every time, especially in like the deeper crease area of my eye. The shadows just don't apply nicely there. They don't blend out nicely there. I usually have like a little like bald patch on my eye, and I attribute it to this because it happens with multiple palettes and palettes that I've never had a problem with before. So I can only blame this, and I'm just not a fan of it. Then I just recently picked up this eyelid primer. This one is from Milk, and it's the Hydro Grip Eye Primer. Good Lord. So that's what I've used today. This is my first time using it, so it's still going to be a bit of a learning curve when I applied this in the Get Ready With Me video. It did a little bit like what the NYX one did, just especially in that like deep crease area of the eye. So I need to play around with it a bit, but it wasn't nearly to the degree as the NYX one. So there's still hope for it. I'm not writing it off yet, but I can't give you like final thoughts on it because I need to play around with it a few different times before I can really like lock in my opinion. So I will update you guys on that at some point. That brings us to the last two items, and they are both foundations. So the foundation that I'm wearing today is the Lawless Conceal the Deal foundation. This is in the shade Sand, and I did say in the Get Ready With Me, this is too light for me. You can probably pick that up, like I'm looking very pale. It is described as being for light with golden olive undertones, and typically speaking, light is where I'm at. I have had foundations in the past that are like light medium, and those can be way too deep. But I think with this particular foundation, I need to move to light medium because this is very light, and I like the foundation. Like I really like the foundation, but I look a little ghostly, look a little bright. I need it a bit deeper. So I might exchange it. I don't really want to because I don't want to waste this because I like it, but I need it to work for me. So we'll see. Anyways, now I did pick up this one as well. This is from Beauty Blender. This is the new Bounce Skin Tint, Always On Radiant Skin Tint. I have not tried this one yet. So this just got delivered yesterday. I have oh my goodness, the shade Light 4. Once I've had an opportunity to play around with this, I will be definitely sharing my thoughts with you guys. So those are the items that I picked up in the month of September. I'm not super overwhelmed by that. It's a lot of palettes, and I've ordered a stupid amount of palettes still. Like I lost my mind. I don't know what happened. I was stress shopping. That's what was happening. I started stress shopping at the very end of September. So mail is going to be interesting for the next few days because I have no idea what's coming to me. But that is it. I'm going to wrap the video up here. Please let me know in the comments what are some of your newest acquisitions. What are you really excited about that's coming up soon? All that good stuff. Let me know. But for now, I'm going to wrap the video up here. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch, and I will see you in my next one. Until then, just be a decent human being. Bye for now.